A very good morning, everyone. It's George Beiruthi here, giving you the market report for Monday morning, the 24th of April, 2023. Let's go and see what happened on Saturday morning. We woke up. We found the Dow Jones was up 22 points, or less than 0.1%. The S&P 500 was also up 0.1%. And the Nasdaq Technology Index the same extent of 0.1%. So more or less you can say the market in America on Friday was steady. Tesla was up 1.3% or $2 to $165.08 US. Apple went down 1%, as you can see here, $1.63 down to $165.02. BHP and Rio was hit hard in the US. BHP was down 3.2% and Rio was down 4%. Why is that so? We go straight to the iron ore price and we find the iron ore price was trading at $119.31 US per ton, down nearly $1 or 0.8%. In Europe, the Stoxx 50 index, which comprises most major European markets, was actually up 0.5% on the back of the FTSE in London, up 0.1%, the CAC in France, up 0.5%, and the DAX in Germany, also up 0.5%. On Friday, our ASX 200, our market gauge, was down 32 points or 0.4%. And the futures indicate that the market most likely will open slightly down, 5 points down, or less than 0.1%. Gold was hit hard on Saturday morning. We find that gold was $1,983, down $21.17, or 1%. Silver was also down 0.9%, or 21 cents or 22 cents to be almost the same. Brent and crude oil were steady, only a few cents up, less than $1, up 0.8% for the Brent and 0.9% up for the West Texas crude oil. Australian dollar was trading at 66.94 US cents and the 10-year yield in the US was steady at 3.56% or 3.57%, and we are right behind them in Australia with the 10-year yield giving you $3.5%. Bitcoin overnight was down from 29,200 to 27,600 this morning. And that converts to approximately 41,200 Australian dollars. Funny enough, it's up in Australian dollars, but down in the US. Highest level in Australian dollars was 88,900, and the lowest level, about maybe 7-8 months ago, down to 23,700. In the US, the highest level over the last couple of years was 66,800, dropping to 15,600 and almost doubling in value only a few days ago. All right, let's go and see the 3-week wrap-up. The Dow over the last 3 weeks was still up 1.6%, even last week was negative. The S&P 500 was up 0.6% over 3 weeks. However, the Nasdaq was down 1.22%. Over the year, the Nasdaq is down 8.4%, the S&P 500 down 5.9%, and the Dow down 2.8%. Our market, over the year, we're down nearly 2%, and over 3 weeks, we're up 2.1%. Gold, over the last 3 weeks, you can call that steady, only down $3.10 or 0.2%. And over the year, gold is up nearly 4%. Silver, on the other hand, is down 5% over the year. And the last 3 weeks, it was still up with 4.6% rise. Copper, the economic global barometer, over the last 3 weeks was down 2.6%, and over the year down 11.5%. And oil, over the year, 18% down for the Brent and 20% down for the crude. Alright, let's keep going. Advance and decline. What we have here, the last 4 days we had more declines than advances. The last on Friday we had 34.4% of all the stocks declining and only 26.7% advancing. However, you can see here with the last 3 days we've seen the decline exceeding the advances, but look what happened to the volume. Like the market shot up for 4 trading days ago and then decided to take a rest, and the sellers decided to take some time off. Remember, Tuesday, tomorrow, is Anzac Day, and obviously the market will be shut across Australia. But anyway, we'll see what happens the remaining of the week. It's very interesting to actually compare the volume up or down when the advances exceeding declines or vice versa. If you put 5 days collectively together, you can see over the last 10 weeks we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks out of 10 where the declines exceeding the advances. However, the last 2 weeks we've seen a slight improvement in the market when the buyers decided to come into the market and buy stocks. Now let's have a look at our portfolio. Over last week, ASX 200 was down 0.4%, but with the exception of the momentum portfolio, we underperformed the conservative portfolio, as you can see, down 1.1%. However, the aggressive portfolio and the volume portfolio did better because they were actually lower less than the whole market. The momentum portfolio went up by 1.4%. Now, since the 7th of July, when we started to trade again after we closed all our positions at the end of June last year, and we sat on nearly $250,000 across the 4 portfolios. Well, since the 7th of July, the overall market is up 10.3%. The conservative portfolio did better, 19%. But as you can see, the aggressive portfolio did not do well, and so is the momentum portfolio, both of them down almost 0.6%. The volume portfolio was up 6.3%, underperforming the market. Only the conservative portfolio did better than the market, almost double the revenue, the return. Now, if we put weeks over weeks over weeks, and we go back to 4 weeks, or actually start with 3 weeks, the overall market was up 5%, and only the volume portfolio outperforming the market, and all the other 3 underperforming. And again, over 4 weeks, the overall market is up 2.8%, and only the volume portfolio was higher. All right, now if you go further here, we see that, as I mentioned, that out of the 250,000, since we started to trade on the 7th of July, 69% of our capital was used in the aggressive portfolio, only 49% in the conservative portfolio. We're still sitting on a lot of cash. Cash in hand 171, we only use 121,000. And for the volume portfolio, we use only 41%, and for the momentum portfolio, we only use 52%. Now let's see what's inside those trades. The 19% return on the conservative portfolio, thanks to the mineral resources, Whitehaven Coal and BHP, more than 30% up. James Hardie, we lost 10% and we closed it much earlier. Commonwealth Bank was up at one stage, now we're down 1.3%. In the other three portfolios, we find that Appen 16%, Coronado 17%, and Sayona 17%. In the conservative portfolio, the volume-based portfolio, we're up 6.3%. Life 360 and ANZ giving us 9.4%, and Mesoblast giving us 7.5%. In the momentum portfolio, our best stock is actually WiseTech, up 40.2%, followed by Yancoal and New Hope. Lake Resources, lithium mineral related stock, down 30%. You need to know that lithium, being the star performer last year, for the last 3-4 months, have actually been less than attractive. All right, let's move on. Let's have a look at the American market. The S&P 500 since the 7th of July was up 6%. The Nasdaq up nearly 4%, and unfortunately our US portfolio is only up 1%. Over 4 weeks, the S&P 500 is up 2.2%, the Nasdaq up 3.3%, and we are a laggard, and we only up 1.2%, underperforming the overall market. So let's see what's inside. We're losing money on Novavax, quite a lot of money, and on Friday we improved that performance by up 5.5%. And according to the fair value, the fair value is well above the last price, which was $8.68. Fair value is $53. We need to review that fair value again, because it seems to be a lot higher. That's nearly 6 times the last price. The best performer is Netflix, giving us nearly 10%, giving us 43%, and Shopify nearly 4%, and Microsoft 22%. Tesla is the second bad stock, is actually down 32%. So again, Tesla fair value is $204, and at the moment trading $165.08. So that's why we keep holding on to it. Now let's go further and see the most active weekly. Telix Pharmaceutical Company has done extremely well. It was up 29%. Let's see what's happening with Telix today. And I'll put the chart and see how it's performing today. Telix. That's on Friday, sorry. That's today, sorry. Oops. So on Friday the market went up slightly. You can see here, slightly up on Friday, but on Thursday night it hit hard against it. So over the week it has improved, but the last few days it has actually dropped below the highest. Maybe it's a good time to buy it again. Let's have a look at the fair value for fair value. Oh, it closed at $10 and the fair value is only $8.43, and the target is $9.24, so I think we missed the boat. It's not really good to trade, but anyway, the other company, PointsBet, was up nearly 13.4%, trading at $1.44. A week before was $1.27, improving 13.3%, and on Friday it only was up by $1.44 from $1.40, so only 4 cents up. The target is $2.43 and the fair value is the average $4.04. Again, you might want to actually have a look at this as well. Third company, SiteMinder, was up 11%. A week before was $3.22, jumping $3.57, nearly 10%. And on Friday went from $3.45 to $3.57. And the fair value is $4.40 and the target is $4.90. So that's a company you may want to have a look at. If you want to have a look at now at the daily most active, Whitehaven Coal, that's on Friday, was up 5.9%, closed at $7.38. On Thursday it closed at $6.97, up 5.9%, and the average fair value is $12. We have 69 extra margin, extra value above the last price, and the target is $11.42, 55% above the price. Boral was up 5.6%, jumping from $3.91 on Thursday to $4.13, and the average fair value is $3.80. Now that's less than the price. The target is $3.66. It's overpriced, so we're going to ignore it. And by the way, you'll get this whole presentation and a hard copy of the whole article when you are communicating with us, and we can give you the details on how to communicate with us later on. Alright, now finally, in terms of volume, we start with the weekly. Woolworths, again $37.56, the fair value is $34, we're going to ignore it, and there is nothing in the weekly on the upside. If you go now on the daily, what we do here, we look at the volume. We start with the volume. We look at the last trading day volume. In here for BlueScope was 3.3 million transactions, and the average over 50 days is 2 million. So we have seen 160% extra volume on Friday, and the price went up by 2%. However, again, the price of BlueScope finished at $21.13 and the fair value is $18.60, so it's overpriced. Westpac, on the other hand, was up 1.5%. The volume was 28% above the 50-day moving average volume. We traded for 7.6 million, and the fair value is actually $30.25, trading at $22.57. So we have another 34% extra value above Westpac price. Medibank Private, no, the fair value is almost the same, so we ignore it. National Australia Bank, $29.10, up 1.7%. The volume was 10% above the moving average, and the fair value is $38.74 versus $29.10 for the last price. Alright, well, that's about it for us today. This is our details. If you're calling me in Australia, ring 0411 25 9526. If you're ringing from overseas, 6161 is the country code for Australia. 61, you don't need a zero. 61 411 25 9526. Or you can write to me to George at FS Securities. FS stands for Full Service Securities.com.au. Now finally, happy trading, trade wisely and safely, and have a fantastic day.